welcome to another video on Ron Brown's YouTube channel where we cover a lot of drones, drone gear, drone tech, drone accessories, and we do a lot of testing of new firmware and software for drones. And today will be that type of video. We're going to focus on the DJI Mini 3 drone today here. And I don't have it handy to show you on set here, but we're going to be flying a Mini 3 Pro, not the Mini 3, but I think everything I'm going to be showing in this video will apply to the standard Mini 3 also, but most of it anyways. But anyhow, the Mini 3 Pro got a firmware update over the Christmas holidays. I've kind of covered that video. I think I've got my notes here, the numbers. That was the new firmware for that drone was version 01.00.0450, and we did a video where we covered that. But as a lot of people pointed out in the comments of that video, I forgot to update the other batteries. I only updated the battery that was in the drone at the time of the firmware update. And this one of the not every time, but a lot of firmware updates require you to run all three batteries through. If you have a Firmware kit or 4 batteries or 2 batteries, however many you have, and I did not do that. And then the compound, when I did the test flight, I flew it on one of the batteries that wasn't updated. So I flew the drone on the current firmware, but not the battery in the drone on that firmware test. And I'll put that video, down below, up top, wherever you put those things, so you can go over there and check that out. But in this video, what we did is the DJI RC, that's the controller with the screen that came out with the Mini 3 Pro back in the spring of 2022. That got a firmware update. That's version 01.02.0300. And the show notes on that was it optimizes flight recording. What that means is that controller is able to do an onboard screen recording, which we used to do on our phones and stuff before these modern kind of smart control devices came out, and also fix minor bugs. Well, we never know what those minor bugs are, so it's hard to check for that, but you will see how the screen recording turned out here. I wasn't having any issues with my screen recording before. Now the screen recordings out of this controller are only 720p as opposed to the DJI Smart Controller and the RC Pro, which give you 1080 screen recording. So I don't know if that changes that. I imagine it would say that. I don't expect it to be any. I expect it to be the same 720p it was before. Okay, so this test flight will be, with the current version of that firmware, that number I gave you for the drone itself, the Mini 3 Pro, the firmware for the RC controller, and also the latest version of the Fly app, which is 1.9.1. So we're current. I think all 3 batteries are run through now. They didn't need it for this firmware update. I mean the controller update, but they've all been run through now. And I made a video on how to upgrade your firmware on your other batteries, and I will link that down below too if you want to see how to do all 3 of your batteries if you've never done that yet. So if you only had one battery, you don't have to worry about anything I'm saying here. But let's go out to the field. It was a cold January day here. It wasn't snowing or anything, but it was cold. A little bit. It wasn't real windy. It was a little breezy, but not windy enough to affect the drone, the Mini 3s. Good in the wind for a mini drone, let's put it that way. And they handled it just fine. You'll see that I get the speeds up pretty good this day. But so we ran the drone through its paces and see, and what we're trying to look for in this video, really, these update videos is, especially the ones that don't add any features per se, we want to make sure that it doesn't break anything in the drone. And especially break something important, like we want to make sure it still flies stable, returns to home okay, the camera works good, all the important settings are still, on point. So let's roll this video and let's see how it does out in the field. Recording mode. We're using the DJI mic here to record the audio, and I have the little receiver down below here plugged into the USB-C port, not the one you power with, but the other one is under the little lid here. So I hope you can see that on camera here. So we're gonna, we already have 31 satellites in. We're in Class G airspace today. There's no temporary flight restrictions of any kind today. And, winds are, relatively calm for the shore. It's a little overcast, but otherwise we're good to go here. So let's get this bird in the air here. We're going to lift off here. We're going to use the, the automatic takeoff here.
So here we go. All right, drone is gently lifting off here. Remind me to turn Wi-Fi and Bluetooth off. That's okay. We're going to go straight up here. See the drone's pitching a little bit here. And we're going to down the gimbal here. I had the gimbal turned up, for the when I was recording myself there. Okay, this little building here is not my new beach house here. This is a fancy lifeguard stand here. We'll do a little orbit around the lifeguard stand for you folks. Not the world's best orbit, but it's a manual orbit. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to get a little bit of height here, and we're going to check our, all our settings here. Make sure, because sometimes you do a firmware update, it messes your settings up. So we're going to go in here, the three dots at the top left-hand corner. We're going to look at our safety stuff. We got obstacle avoidance on. We're in bypass mode. We don't want that disabled sideways flight on. We got our map radar on. Our max altitude is 493 and legal is 400, so we're under. We have the distance set for distance limit of 520, which is actually 1 mile. We're not going to go that far, of course. And we have auto return home set for 262 in case we somehow lose connection, but I hope we don't lose connection because we're not going that far. So we're going to take a slight break here while Ron puts his photographer's gloves on, his PGI Tech photographer's gloves, which are great in the wintertime here. My hands are starting to get a little chilly here. I'll put a link down below for these gloves. They're great for drone flying and photography in the winter here. So just bear with me for a second here. I'm going to cut the video so you don't have to hear all this rambling. We know all our settings are good here, so let's gain a little. I've got another drone in the air. I guess I got an Avata behind me here, which is cool, right? Avata's an FPV type drone. So, okay, we have our kind of map thing on here, but if you can hit that like bottom corner, you can turn that to the radar. So we got a radar on here now. So let's go all the way up to about 100 feet. And I'm flying a little bit bad here because I got these gloves on. I'm still getting them in position here. Oops, I hit the gimbal down button there. I think this is gimbal down. Yeah, okay. So let's get our horizon set. So, okay, let's go for a little flight here. We'll fly right down along the dunes here. Of course, it doesn't matter this time of year. There's nobody on the beach here. All right, we're going to see what our signal's like here. We'll get a little bit higher here. We're in normal flight mode here, not sport mode. And we're ripping along here at 22 miles per hour. And, the things look good. Camera's on auto, 4K 30 auto. And we're flying down here. And look, we're gonna stop here for a second. Oh, there's a beach walker here, so we're going to kind of fly over those. Look over here, there's Lucy the elephant. Yeah, there's Lucy. Not the best day here, kind of overcast, but there's good old Lucy. And this has zoom in it, of course. So let's zoom in on Lucy. There we go. We're in 4K, so I think we can zoom in 2 times. There we go. There's Lucy. Looks like she's pretty busy today. I see people walking around. So, okay, we're going to zoom back out again. I never like to fly with zoom in because there's people there. So we're going to fly down here near the beach, the beach area. Oh, look, it's a wide thing of soft sand or hard sand there down by the water. Good day for walking. And there's somebody with a dog down there you can probably see. So we'll not fly over them. We're going to get back in here a little bit again. Raise height just a little bit here. There's one of the big towers, the condos down here at the beach here. Okay, so signal seems really good. We still have 5 white bars down there. And we're over 2,000 feet. And you see down there that at the end of the island there's Longport. Okay, we're testing. Look, we're great. I mean, we're at we're 2,500 feet away, and we have 4 bars of signal here. So that is great here. So there's no problem with signal. The thing seems to be flying very precisely. I mean, I got these darn gloves on, and I'm still having no issues whatsoever. Now, we are at 200 and something feet, but we'll bring it down a little bit here now that we're on the way back. So we're just looking out. I don't want to fly over any beach walkers. Okay. So here we come back here. We're down to about 170 now. We'll keep coming down. We'll get down to about 150. Okay, there we go. You see Lang City in distance there, and so on. So, okay, it seems to be flying perfect here. Look at the compass and things working great over there. Hope the screen recording's going well. And you know what? I'm going to do I'm not that far away now, but I'm going to do is, return to home just to see, make sure it's still working correctly here. So we will hit the return to home on the screen there. Okay, you have the option of land or return to home. You don't want to land, don't want to get the drone all sandy. So we're going to hit return to home. You have to hold it until the circle completes. Now it's going to go into return to home mode. It's going to go up to 260 some feet, which I had programmed in there. And, which I guess, I don't know if that's above the building, but we do have obstacle avoidance on. We are in normal mode, not sport mode, so it will not hit the building. Of course, it's flying on a straight path right back to us. There's nobody down below, so there's no worry in that. And you see the thing there, the little lifeguard station. Oh, we just had a little hiccup in video reception there. It must have maybe hit some Wi-Fi from that, that big building or something. So the drone's almost back, 400 some feet away, 300. Okay, I see it coming back. So return to home is working perfectly. It's right above us at that 260 feet. So return to home with the update is fine. Of course, we're going to cancel that now. We don't want to end the flight just yet. So we just canceled return to home. It seemed to be handling just great. So this is all in normal mode. Okay, you see me standing by the kind of the bulkhead there. Let's see if we do one of our fancy modes here. Switch over to, I think I have to stop it. Stop the recording the video here. We're going to switch over to, how about a quick shots mode? How about a droney type of thing? Everybody likes the droney. So here it's telling you how to do the droney. So we want to just get out of there, and we're going to go the droney. And see, it's already put the dot on me. And now we'll hit the start. We draw a box around the subject. I just hit the X. So let me draw the box, like it said. Okay. There we go. And let's hit the start button. And of course, it takes it down to 1080 video. You see that down at the bottom there? You could change that to 4K if you want, but it automatically defaults to 1080p. So here we go. Droney's working perfectly here. This is one of the most famous intelligent flight modes. I'm not sure if obstacle avoidance would have worked on that or not. See, like I didn't set it, so it didn't go very far. You could make it go out a lot further than I just did. But I'm just trying to make the point here that the intelligent flight modes still seem to be working well here. And you can see some other drone celebrities over here to the on the camera there, but and see how the drone is identifying as cars or whatever. It knows all the cars. I must have turned that mode on. And there you can see an RC beach buggy right there on the beach. So let's see what else we could do here. Let's back it up. Let's back this up a little bit here. Let's see how the tracking is working. We're going to go back to the fancy lifeguard stand again, and we're going to draw a box around it here. We're going to get out of this mode here and go back to normal video here. And, okay, now we're going to draw a box around this, and we should get that little menu up. I'm going to move the screen recording out of the way here. The spotlight feature, but I'm going to do a point of interest. So, obstacle avoidance unavailable on this here. So, okay. We have to let go. We're going to hit go here as soon as that mode goes out of the way. So we're going to hit the go here. It's in its mode here. We have to hit record this time on this one. I think The Jody did its own start the video, but this you have to do it yourself. So you look at it slowly going around there. I didn't change the speed or whatever. And that little kind of a Google map looking thing there is, you know, that's the point of mention. So it seems to be losing it slightly. And again, I have it going in super slow mode here, but the tracking is working just fine even with all these updates. So we're good to go there. Not much hit there with the telephone pole here, but that's nice that it tells you it takes the obstacle avoidance. So look how the tracking, it's losing the tracking. It got off the, you know, the lifeguard said not enough to make any difference, still keeping it pretty much in center. And I can still control the gimbal pitch here. Yeah, see, look, you still have control of the gimbal pitch, so that's nice. You can't beat this tracking. And then the nice thing is, a lot of people don't have obstacle avoidance, but that also allows you to have this great tracking ability on these drones. So, all right, let's stop that, and let's stop the video on that. And let's fly, you know, down this way a little bit here, and then we'll kind of call this a video here. I mean, everything's working just hunky-dory here. All right, let's put it in the sport mode here and see how it goes. So we're going to turn the video on again here, and we'll rep it. We'll rep a little bit in sport mode here. All right, we're doing over 30 miles per hour now, so sport mode is still fast. Go up a little bit higher. The boat's still on the beach this time of year. There's some people down there too, so I'm gonna come back now. You hear that Avata drone behind me, don't you? Yeah, so I mean, this drone seems to be perfect on this new firmware here. I don't, but you know, at this point, I would advise, you know, I don't advise anybody doing the updates they don't want to, but you know, if you're thinking about doing the update, you know, why not? There we go. We're right back to our street again here. We can go a little bit high. You can see the bay on the other side of the island here. It's not a you know, Long Island there. You can see the bay, the bridge on the left. You can see the Lucy, the water tower on the right.
Okay, folks, that was what I consider a very successful test flight, the Mini 3 Pro, with all the new firmware, including the new firmware for the DJI RC controller. The signal was fine. It flew and handled great. You know, the camera seemed to work fine. Oh, well, here's something I didn't mention before. A lot of people thought that the previous firmware for the Mini 3 Pro, and I'm not sure if they mean the one came out in the holidays, the one before. Anyhow, messed the focus on the camera up. And I did not notice any focusing issue on this flight, on the previous flight, or any flight ever with the Mini 3. But I do know my friend Marcus Crawford has had some focusing issues with his drone. And we talked about maybe it being the tap to focus, that he's getting focused on something close when he takes off, and then it's not refocusing again. And we say that, but we don't know that for sure. So I don't know, again, if what he was experiencing with his focus issue, but I haven't seen the focusing issue on any of the recent versions of the firmware. So if you did have a focusing issue, let me know down below if any of this firmware, that again, not necessarily the RC is not going to fix any focus issue, but the firmware update from the holidays, the first number right off to you, if that fixed any out of focus issues for you, or focus issues, period. So just something to be aware of. I think it's not a widespread issue, but some people do have it. So it's worth mentioning and looking out for. So yeah, so if you were on the fence whether you should do this firmware update for your RC controller, I'm going to say yes. I didn't notice any difference in the screen recording, and it seemed to go fine, but it seemed to work fine before. So I don't know what that optimized it per se. Maybe some people were having issues that I wasn't having, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. So there's no downside in doing it. So I mean, I think I mentioned in this video. Yeah, I'm not telling anybody to update firmware if you don't want to. If you're happy with your firmware and you're worried about some kind of a bug pop up, stay where you are until it forces you to do it at some point. But if you were in the fence, I wouldn't be afraid. I don't think it introduced any issues. It definitely didn't introduce any signal issue. I had a great signal out there the whole time. I saw one blip when I flew by the the big condo building or whatever. But maybe I hit like a little Wi-Fi pocket or something there. But that was when I was real close, not far away. So that was more of a Wi-Fi interference issue, something in that that little space I flew by more than a signal issue overall, a range issue per se. So I did notice a little something, and I don't know if this came with a new RC DJI RC firmware update now, but it seemed to advertise a new feature built into the app, and maybe this is from the 9.1, not 9.1, yeah, 19.1 Fly app. It introduced a feature called I saw DJI Fly Spot, and it was a little kind of little program, I guess you'd call it, the check where to fly, where you could look around the map and whatever and look for places to fly that were, legal to fly and so on, interesting to fly. I'm going to explore that a little bit more and maybe make a video about it if it's worth it. So just keep an eye out for the DJI Find Spot. And I think that's spelled like a one word, Find Spot. So kind of a new buzzword. So, okay, the usual thing I say at the end of these videos, give me the thumbs up if you got anything out of the video. Subscribe to the channel. I can always use a few new subscribers around here. Ring that bell so you know when I put up another video on the Mini 3 or another favorite drone of yours. And, I'll leave Amazon links down below for all the items I show in the video. I use the DJI mic in a video. The drone, any equipment I show in the video talk about, I will put an Amazon link down below. And I am an Amazon affiliate seller, so I do get a small commission off of anything you purchase from those links, even if it's not those items. Remember that too. If you buy the Mini 3 Pro and a pack of socks, I also get credit for the pack of socks. Or if you only buy the pack of socks, I get credit for them too. So remember how that goes. And there's also a thanks button down below. It's near the thumbs up button where you can contribute a little $1.99 to your favorite content creator. Or maybe not your favorite, but again, just a little something for us for our work and all these kind of gifts I'm getting and whatever. I use this stuff to buy more gear to get reviewed on the channel here. So with no further ado, that's the end of this video, and we'll see you back on the next one, folks.